The August 12th, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting will come to order.
Mr. Garrett,
Here.
Ms. Soviar,
Here.
Mr. Cassidy,
Here.
Mr. Clark,
Here.
Mr. Bradburn.
Here. So our first order tonight will be the approval of meeting minutes from two separate meetings. I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 8th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from July 8th.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. July 8th has passed. Now for July 16th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from July 16th, the special meeting.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The meeting minutes are approved. We have no old business, so Mr. Secretary, would you tell us about the new business?
Okay. Oops. Get my computer. First item under new business is BZA 2025-13. It's the David Ferris use variance. The petitioner's name is David Ferris II. Owner's name is Mike and Barbara Thomas. Petitioner's representative this evening is Andrew Eads. The address of the property is 1406 South Miller Avenue. The current zoning classification is BG, Business General, and the action requested this evening is for one use variance in the BG zoning district to allow indoor storage units, business to operate within the property.
Mr. Eads, please speak your name for the record and tell us about the project.
Yeah, my name's Andrew Eads. I'm a local attorney here. I'm representing Mr. Ferris. He unfortunately cannot make it tonight. He had a prior family engagement with the owners, his in-laws, so he didn't want to be in bad graces with his in-laws / owners and not be with them tonight. So I'm here in his stead. Yeah, I got here a little early, so I heard everyone kind of talking over this property. It's the old Western supermarket. For those of us who have a certain age, we may remember that supermarket. It's been sitting empty for, I think, a few years now, and Mr. Ferris is wanting to utilize that space for indoor storage units. And obviously, in order to do that, he would require a use variance to do that. I think it's roughly 10,000 square feet. Roughly, I think 32 to 35 units would be in there. I did hear a question, I think, earlier about access. It would be 24-hour access. He would be putting some kind of keypad on the outside. And then when somebody pays their rent every month, they would have access that way. I did notice on your report that I looked at today, just some of the questions you had or things on the back page, I think it was, with conditions. I did speak with Mr. Ferris about those conditions. I mean, obviously, they're reasonable. Just, there is a loading area. If you remember that area, it would be to there's a set of double doors to the north of where the entrance used to be to the grocery store. And I think there's some pillars right out front there. That would be the loading. That would be the loading area to go in and out of there. Obviously, we'll put a sign up there just to say that's the loading and unloading area. With regard to trash, that's very reasonable. I don't think either one of us thought of that. But yeah, knowing how meticulous David is, I mean, he'll be policing that area quite a bit. And he even mentioned maybe putting some signage on the inside of the building with regard to trash, just trying to make sure the occupants aren't leaving any trash around. So that's our request. That's our request, obviously, here this evening. Any other questions, I'd be glad to try to answer them.
That's what our next step is.
Okay.
We'll take questions from the
Sure.
board one at a time, then we'll close that comment, open it to the public.
Okay.
So at this point, Mr. Garrett?
My question's been satisfied.
Ms. Soviar?
No questions.
Mr. Cassidy?
Have you considered moving the loading and unloading to behind the building That's, that's how they unloaded the groceries years ago, and
Right.
There's
I'm sure,
that.
yeah, I'm sure if that available, or if that option is available, I'm sure Mr. Ferris would do that. It would make sense because really those doors in the front aren't that big. There's a set of double doors, but if there is obviously storage, or not storage, but entry, ingress and egress in the back to unload and load, I'm sure David would do that as well. It would make sense.
okay, thank you. That's the only question I
Okay.
have. Thanks, Andy.
Mr. Bradburn,
I have no questions.
Okay.
you answered all my questions.
Okay.
So I will close comment from the board and open it to the public. If anyone would wish to speak on this petition. Seeing no one, is anyone online at this time? Then we will close. We will close public comment and we are ready for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the requested use variance to allow the use of indoor storage units in the BG Business General Zoning District in accordance with the documents presented or submitted, imposing the recommended conditions pursuant to the findings of fact presented in the funding staff's report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballot for BZA 2025-13.
This is a motion for approval with the recommended conditions for 2025-13. Mr. Garrett, yes. Ms. Sovier, yes. Mr. Casti, yes. Mr. Clark, yes. Mr. Bradburn, yes. Motion carries.
Good luck.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, our next and last item under new business is BZA 2025-14 Wawa Convenience Store and Fueling Station Development Standards Variance. The petitioner's name is GMX Real Estate Group LLC. Owner's name is Amos IN 44 LLC. Petitioner's representative this evening is Reed Cooksey. The address of the property is 825 East State Road 44, Shelbyville, Indiana. The zoning classification is BH Business Highway, and the request this evening is 6 development standard variances. Variance request A and B are from the non-residential driveway standards. Variances C and D are from the setback standards, specifically the parking lot setback. E is from the parking lot perimeter landscaping requirements, and F is from the foundation planting landscape requirements.
Thank you. Would the petitioner please step to the podium, state your name for the record, and tell us about the project, please?
Absolutely. My name is Reed Cooksey with Stonefield Engineering Design, representing GMX Real Estate Group. With me today, we also have Patrick Moon with Wawa and Todd with GMX as well. So happy to talk about it. You hear 6 variants. I know that sounds like a lot, but we'll go through each one and why the standards are needing to have a deviation from it. A lot of them are existing nonconformities that we're just having to seek a variance due to the redevelopment. The first 2 are the driveway standards. As you can see in the layout, we're maintaining the 2 of the existing driveways. We have actually 4 total curb cuts. We are closing 2 of them, and we've been working with DOT regarding the entrance onto IN 44, as well as the road widening there. Those entrance locations do exist today. We're actually closing one that is closer to the intersection than is required. And the one that's on Amos Road there is as far south as we can move it. So we just don't have the physical frontage to meet the requirement there. As far as the setback standards for parking lots, as you can see, this parcel's almost 100% developed. And with the double frontage lot, the requirement for only 25% encroachment into the front yard setback in order to meet our parking standards, which we felt was a necessary operational item here. To have the adequate circulation around the site, and due to the uniqueness of the double frontage and kind of this L-shaped parcel that you see, having parking along Route 44, as well as the air spaces along Amos Road there, with a couple parking spaces there operationally. Having them by the gas pumps is where we need them. So those are kind of the requisites there. The parking lot perimeter requirement, item E, is for the 14 parking spaces along the north. As the property currently sits today, we actually meet this requirement of a 10-foot separation from right of way. But due to the road widening and lane improvements on 44, DOT is requesting that we grant additional right of way there, which then pinches just the spaces along the northeast of those 14 to a point where we can't meet the 10-foot setback there. Therefore, we're requesting a deviation from that, just because it is something that DOT is requesting of us with their improvements. Improvements that we're not doing, but improvements that they are doing in the future. Those improvements are actually shown on the plans. That was something that was coordinated coming out of our TAC meeting as well. The foundation plantings, which again is the last item here, we are proposing all of the required number of shrubs on there. Where we need a deviation from the ordinance is due to the overall height of the building. Over 25 feet, we also need to implement some ornamental trees. How Wawa goes about foundation planting is planter boxes, and this is due to an operational request, because anytime we have in-ground plantings around there, it creates a habitat for rodent encroachment, things like that into the store, which obviously we don't want. So we go with the raised planter beds in that scenario. And if you look, our roof height does not exceed the 25 feet, where it's just the parapet that actually goes above it. So that's what triggered it. But the rest of the site, if you look at kind of the landscaping is grayed back. This is a heavily landscaped site. We meet all of their landscape requirements as well. So we do feel that we're meeting the intent of the ordinance there. Just trying to look for the relocation of those trees, not to be in the planter boxes where they would not be successful. So happy to answer any other questions about the deviations we're requesting, as well as any operational items you have on the site.
Thank you. Now, Adam, can we take these? We got to take these individually, but can we question them all at the same time?
Yes, and we can do one big public hearing on all of them at once, and then just individual votes.
All right.
Yes, yep.
Thank you. So I will start with more questions from the board. Mr. Bradburn?
Yeah, it sounds like, well done. Thank you. And thank you for your cooperation. Obviously, with Indiana State government, you have no say over that, but it sounds like NDOT's requiring some of your variances here. It sounds like they're approving the State Road 44, the Part A there for us. The one question that I'll pose for us relates to E with the landscaping standards.
Yep.
My concern, so I'm going to be all for our landscaping standards. I value them, and I love
Absolutely.
having green space here, but I'm also concerned about maintaining in the future. And so if we bound you to a requirement to put what you should have, if you weren't getting the variance here to put the number of trees or shrubs or whatever it is elsewhere on the property, do you see at this point that being a hindrance or an encumbrance?
No, I mean, as you can see by the landscaping, we pretty much have maxed it out. We can try to squeeze a couple more ornamental trees, or, obviously I don't have the numbers in front of me, but, I think we're upwards of 50, 60 trees kind of going in on the site. So it's definitely well landscaped from that perspective. And, we can either swap out some of the species that we're showing for more of an ornamental tree, if that's what you guys would prefer, or keep them more of the shade deciduous trees that we're showing as well.
I have no further questions. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Cassidy?
I think there's some more for Adam on the entrance off of 44. On an exit, should we make that a right turn only? You're going to go across 5 lanes of traffic to go back to the west. I mean, is that going to be a lot of a safety issue where we make coming out of that north entrance, make that a right turn only going east on 44? If they want to go the other direction, have them come out off of Amos Road. Because I think I would be worried, especially with younger drivers, not experienced drivers,
Mhm.
to them trying to go rush across 44 to go back west. Is that possible? Is that?
Well, we might, yeah, and I see the concern because it's similar to the St. Joe case from last month, I think. Maybe it's something we push to the city engineer, because I wouldn't want to, I don't think I'm qualified to say one way or the other, but he is. So maybe, because on that case, you guys had approved the separation, but made a condition that if he had recommendations on limiting the movement from that, that would be imposed. And he did have restrictions on that.
And we do need to get a DOT permit for that access. So INDOT has to approve whatever we put there because while that is the existing location, we are, improving it because currently it's just kind of a small asphalt curb cut. So that entrance, it meets their current standards. So, we've submitted to DOT, we've had preliminary conversations with them. Obviously, if they want to restrict us and we have to do that.
No, it's not.
Permit, but
I think it's okay. I'm more worried about coming out of that.
Yeah.
And somebody trying to make a left-hand turn and going across 3 or 4 lanes of traffic where coming out of that, we make it a right-hand turn on. If they want to go a different direction, have them come out on Amos Road
yes.
to the stoplight and then go left. I do, from a safety standpoint, I don't know, I mean,
Understood. Yeah. And DOT's taken a look at that. We've submitted a traffic study to them and everything like that. So they're aware of what we're trying to do there. We should get our review back from them in the next few weeks, but I mean, we'd be happy to condition the separation there on their approval or, your engineer taking a look at it as well.
Okay.
And I was gonna pull the language from that St. Joe staff report, just so, because seeing it right now, it basically just kicked to,
It does make sense.
yeah, to Mr. Comstock to let him make that determination within DOT.
okay.
But I think that's
Yeah,
reasonable.
we'd be happy to condition it on the engineer and DOT's approval. I mean,
Okay.
it seems pretty straightforward and what we have to do anyways.
That's all I have. Welcome to Shelbyville.
We're excited to be here.
Thank you. Ms. Sobiar?
Hi, welcome as well. My question sort of marries with Vince's question in terms of the maintenance piece. What will the planter boxes, I didn't see any kind of representation so that maintenance is well maintained and it doesn't through the years or?
So we have drip lines installed. They'll be irrigated. So, and then Wawa has very high standards for landscaping as well. They have a number of employees on site at all times to help pick up trash, make sure, again, that's another concern with at-ground planter beds is collection of trash, but, they're walking around the site, making sure it's clean. And then we have a corporate maintenance schedule for, plant, things to get replanted if they aren't successful, things of that nature. So.
Will there be any, I guess when I was thinking planter beds, I was thinking you might have some elevated ones as
They're
well.
all raised, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the
they're
material
raised.
for that is all.
Yeah, I thought there was a detail in there. I'm not.
I missed it maybe.
Okay,
Yeah, I
I'm not sure
apologize
if
for
it-
that. if I
Yeah,
did.
they're raised concrete planter beds.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Mr. Garrett?
Yeah, I had a couple things. So looking at the site plan, am I saying this correct, that there'll be essentially 8 fuel pumps?
That is correct.
Okay, the service 16 cars at
Yep.
once.
Yes.
Okay. And then lastly, just looking at the elevation plan, I just want to say, I love the materials you guys are using.
We get that a lot.
Yeah, so I think,
Heavy masonry, really good aesthetics, nothing like in your face with the colors. It goes well with.
yeah,
with
so
what
I just want to say I appreciate that and welcome to Shelbyville.
we appreciate it. Thank you.
So my only question was, I kind of poked at Adam at this because I always try to ask this when we're in a tight situation like this. I hear that you have used auto turn to
Yes.
create the traffic flow. Are you limiting everything to the minimums of that? Because we have had trouble with that in the past.
By minimums, you mean just like the turn radius minimums?
Minimum turn
and-
radii and
and-
things like that. As far as I noticed on some of your plans, you show the entrance and exit of semi truck vehicles.
Yep.
Tractor trailers and the radii that they will need to do that. If you are cut to the minimum of that, we may end up having some issues.
Yeah, so all the truck turning that we do, we run 3 different scenarios. They're all held to Wawa standards for both fuel delivery, which is different truck, obviously, from food delivery, as well as trash delivery. Those are higher standards than just at the minimums, because they want to be successful in the site, and they will walk away from the site if their, fuel trucks cannot, make it to where they need to pump. They're very cognizant of where the trucks are on site. We can't have any of the trucks cutting through between the canopy and the building, things of that nature. So all of those standards are, we're not at the minimums.
Thank you. Has that brought up any other questions?
I just had one more question for staff in relation to part F, the foundation planning. Hearing Mr.
Cooksey.
Coxey explain Wawa's use for their foundation planning, would that be something that we might want to look at? I mean, it sounds like a good reason. I mean, deters, rodents and whatnot from getting in the store. I think that would be something valuable in this zoning district.
Yeah, I think it's worth looking at in the future. And several years ago, we made a change in the ordinance for industrial properties because food manufacturing facilities actually, by some kind of federal requirement, cannot have plantings within a certain number of feet from the foundation. So we heard some variances for when Greenleaf Foods was proposed, and then made some changes to the ordinance shortly thereafter to allow some substitution of that or to relocate those elsewhere. So I think it's worth having that discussion. Yeah.
That's it.
Are there any more questions from the board? So I will close questions from the board and open it to public comment. Anybody from the public wish to speak on this particular petitions? Seeing none, we will close public comment and we will take these one at a time.
On this first one, so letter A is the drive separation from East State Road 44. Assuming that condition that Mr. Cassidy had mentioned is something we want, I have the staff report from St. Joe. So whoever wants to make that motion can also state this. So. Say that again. It should be the one condition. Yep.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the requested development standards variance from UDO 5.15 non-residential driveway standards to allow driveway entrance off State Road 44. That access control of this curb cut and any necessary limitations or restrictions shall be determined by the city engineer in accordance with the documents submitted pursuant to the findings of fact presented in the planning staff's report.
I have a motion
Second?
and a second. Please cast your ballot for BZA 2025-A.
This is a motion for approval with one condition for BZA 2025-14A. Mr. Garrett, yes. Oops. Ms. Sovier, yes. Mr. Cassidy, yes. Mr. Clark, yes. Mr. Bradburn, yes. Okay. Motion carries.
That motion carries, so we're ready for BZA 2025-B.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the requested development standard from UDO 5.15, non-residential driveway to allow an entrance off Amos Road in accordance with the documents submitted and staff report.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballot for BZA 2025-B.
Sir. This is a motion for approval on BZA 2025-14B. Mr. Garrett, yes. Ms. Soviar, yes. Mr. Casti, yes. Mr. Clerk, yes. And Mr. Bradburn, yes. Motion carries.
So now we're ready for BZA 2025-C.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the requested development standards variance from UDO 5.55 SB-01, 1 to 4A setback standards, parking lots along East State Road 44 in accordance with the documents submitted pursuant to the findings of fact presented in the planning staff's report.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballot for BZA 2025-C.
Sure. Motion for approval on BZA 2025-14C. Mr. Garrett, yes. Ms. Soviar, yes. Mr. Casti, yes. Mr. Bradburn, yes. Mr. Clark, yes. Motion carries.
Thank you. We're ready for D.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the requested development standards variance from UDO 5.55 SB-01, 1-4A setback standards, parking lots along Amos Road in accordance with the documents submitted pursuant to the findings of fact presented in the planning staff's report.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Cast your ballot for BZA 2025-14D.
I would have just made it up. You are now. BZA 2025-14D. Motion for approval. Ms. Soviar, yes. Mr. Garrett, yes. Mr. Casti, yes. Mr. Clark, yes. And Mr. Bradburn, yes. Motion carries.
Thank you. We're ready for BZA 2025-14E.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the requested development standards variance from UDO 5.35 LA-05B parking lot perimeter requirements for the right-of-way landscaping buffer along State Road 44 in accordance with the documents submitted pursuant to the findings of fact presented in the planning staff report.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballot for BZA 2025-14E.
Motion for approval on 2025-14E. Mr. Garrett, yes. Ms. Soviar, yes. Mr. Casti, yes. Mr. Clark, yes. And Mr. Bradburn, yes. Motion carries.
Thank you. Now the final BZA 2025-14F.
I would like to make a motion to approve the requested development standards variance from UDO 5.32 LA-02A1 foundation plantings to allow the planting to be placed in planter boxes and positioned along the building foundation in accordance with the documents submitted pursuant to the findings of fact presented in the planning staff report.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballot for BZA 2025-14F.
Thank you, sir. This is a motion for approval on BZA 2025-14F. Mr. Garrett, yes. Mr. Casti, yes. Ms. Soviar, yes. Mr. Clark, yes. Mr. Bradburn, yes. Motion carries.
Good luck. We do appreciate a well-put-together packet for the information. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. We're excited to be here and really appreciate your guys' time tonight and appreciate all the work Adam's done with us as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you at the Plan Commission.
We have nothing under discussion this evening, so fairly quick one.
Motion to adjourn.